So what I want to do is, I want to talk to you about introduction steps. Introduction steps are literally what they say. They're introducing the movement into the dance. They're the easiest thing in the world to do, but they are the same thing that people seem to struggle with. So, as you know, I've been coaching like 20 years, over that now, and I've seen more people struggle with an introduction step than I have seen them dance a routine or a foxtrot or a heel turn, which is just ludicrous, crazy nuts to me. So, introduction steps. There isn't a formula, to be fair with you. I mean, there's some introduction steps you're stepping on beat number 4. Some introduction steps you're stepping on beat number 1. Some you're using a 2-beat to brush, some you're not. What you got to remember, though, is you got to just try to think about which beat number does my dance start on. So, for example, if my dance starts on beat number 1, like in a quick step, and I was doing brush, and walk forwards, well, you know that your dance doesn't start on that foot. You know that it starts on this one. So if you know beat number 1 is on your right foot, then surely logic must dictate that when you dance this, you do 1, 2, 3, step on 4 for your introduction, that gets your movement going, and then your dance can still start on number 1. Same for foxtrot. If I'm doing foxtrot, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 for my feather step. If I'm dancing a waltz, for example, I would quite simply dance 1, 2, 3. So there I've used a slightly less elongated brush because I haven't got 4 beats. I step to the side on 1, I brush on 2, I walk on 3. So my dance can then start 1, 2, 3. So it's quite common sense that if you know your dance starts on a certain beat, normally beat number 1 in fairness, on your right foot, then you want to be arriving on your left foot on the beat previous to that. It's not rocket science. And trust me, if it was rocket science, dance teachers wouldn't be able to get it because most of us are thick. So that kind of gives you an idea. Same for the girls. If you're stepping 1, 2, 3, 4, you're stepping on your step, so 1 starts you down. It's quite simple, really. Obviously, this does mean that you've got to learn to count to music, which, I know for many of you can be a problem. But nail that first, count to music, then get the correct foot on the correct beat. That's all you got to do. In Latin, it's very different because it does depend on what dance. And sometimes you might not want to do an introduction step to try and get that competitive showiness of moving straight through. I mean, rather than taking a step, I'm always going to suggest that you move the hip or rock the body weight rather than actually just take the step because it becomes ploddy. So introduction steps, hugely important, not just for how you get into the music, get the body working, get the body moving, so there's not this jerky action to it, but you can use introduction steps to your advantage. You can use them for presentational purposes. You can use them for positioning purposes. You can use them just to get moving. You can use them to change direction. It's just a multitude of reasons to use an introduction step. And I would urge all of you, because this is what I used to do with my coach, ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more you annoy your teacher. The more you annoy your teacher, the more questions you're asking, and the more questions you're asking, the more knowledge they're giving you. You're not really annoying us, it's what we want you to do. So when you get given an introduction step in dancing, ask your coach, ask your teacher, why am I doing this introduction step? Am I doing it just purely for getting me moving? Am I doing it for a presentational piece, i.e. is it a competitive edge? Or am I using it to change direction? What am I using this introduction piece for? And then once you've got an idea of what you're using it for and why it's been put in the routine, utilize that, and that should help you with all your introduction steps.